Imaging finding a rare coin so rare it could pay off your house today, we're diving into 10 of the most valuable US coins ever found. Real coins worth hundreds and even millions of dollars or more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next rare find. Let's start this.
Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand, a coin so ordinary that most people would toss it into a jar, leave it in a car cup holder, or forget it on a kitchen counter. Now imagine discovering that this tiny copper-colored circle could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is not fantasy, not lottery luck, not a viral myth. It is the reality that has shocked collectors again and again with the 1982 Lincoln penny. The year 1982 was a turning point in American coin history, a year of transition, experimentation, and minting variations that quietly slipped into circulation while millions of Americans went about their daily lives unaware. The thrilling question is this: what if one of those rare errors is sitting in your drawer right now, silently waiting to transform your financial future? Most people never check. Most people never look closely. And that is exactly why opportunity still exists today. The 1982 Lincoln penny is not just another coin, it represents a dramatic shift in U.S. mint production. During this year, the mint changed the metal composition from mostly copper to zinc, creating multiple variations that continue to fascinate collectors. Within this transition, rare minting errors emerged, errors that were not meant to happen, errors that escaped quality control, and errors that today ignite bidding wars among serious numismatists. When one of these exceptional coins surfaces in pristine condition, the market reacts with explosive energy. Stories of auctions climbing into the hundreds of thousands of dollars are not mere rumors whispered on internet forums, they are powerful reminders that small details can hold extraordinary value. Think about it: a single gram difference in weight, a tiny design inconsistency, or an overlooked mint mark can separate a common coin from a life-changing asset. It is almost humorous how something so small can carry such enormous potential, like finding a luxury car key inside a cereal box. It sounds absurd, yet history proves it happens, but here is where emotion enters the picture. There is excitement, of course, the thrill of discovery, the dream of turning spare change into a significant financial reward. Yet there is also fear, the quiet worry that you might unknowingly spend or give away something priceless. How many rare coins have already slipped through fingers simply because nobody bothered to check? How many fortunes were lost not through bad luck, but through inattention? This is not about panic, it is about awareness. The people who benefit are not always the wealthiest or the most connected. They are often the most observant. They are the ones who pause before dismissing a coin as ordinary. And in a world that moves faster every day, the simple act of slowing down and examining a penny can become a surprisingly powerful advantage. As the market for rare coins continues to grow, demand rises with intensity. Collectors compete fiercely for high-grade error coins, and scarcity fuels desire. When supply is limited and interest is global, prices can surge with astonishing speed. Imagine attending an auction where a small bronze-colored coin draws more attention than luxury watches or fine art. It almost feels surreal, like watching a modest bicycle outsell a sports car, yet this is the fascinating psychology of rarity. People are not just buying metal, they are buying history, uniqueness, and the thrill of owning something almost nobody else has. And for sellers, this creates a window of opportunity that does not remain open forever. Markets move, trends shift, and timing matters. Waiting too long can mean missing the peak moment when demand is strongest and competition is fiercest. The inspiring truth is that valuable coins are not reserved for elite collectors or museum vaults. They often begin their journey in everyday circulation, passing through grocery stores, gas stations, and pocket change. The power lies in knowledge and action. When you understand what to look for and recognize the significance of mint marks, weight differences, and striking anomalies, you step into a position of control rather than chance. It becomes less about luck and more about informed awareness. This is where excitement transforms into confidence, where curiosity becomes strategy, and where a simple habit, checking your coins, can open doors you never expected. Picture the moment you realize that something you once ignored now commands attention, respect, and serious monetary interest. That shift in perception is not just financial, it is psychological. It changes how you view everyday objects and reveals hidden potential in the most ordinary places, and here is the urgent reality: opportunities like this reward those who act, not those who endlessly postpone. The world is full of stories about people who said, "I'll check later," only to discover that later never came. Meanwhile, others who took a few minutes to inspect their coins found themselves standing at auction houses, negotiating with dealers, or celebrating unexpected windfalls. The difference between these two outcomes is not intelligence or privilege, it is timing and attention. So the next time a penny crosses your path, do not let familiarity blind you. Imagine reaching into a dusty jar of old coins on your kitchen shelf, and discovering that one small copper penny could quietly be worth more than a luxury car, more than a year's salary, maybe even life-changing money. The year reads 1964, and just below Lincoln's shoulder sits a tiny but powerful letter, D. Most people would glance at it and move on. But what if that single letter, paired with a rare mint error, was the difference between pocket change and a collector's jackpot potentially valued in the hundreds of thousands of dollars? The truth is, extraordinary wealth sometimes hides in the most ordinary places, and the people who recognize it are the ones who change their financial story forever. In the world of coin collecting, the 1964 D. Lincoln penny is more than metal, it is history pressed into copper, a moment from the Denver Mint frozen in time. During the 1960s, the United States was experiencing rapid economic and cultural change, and the mints were producing billions of coins to keep up with demand. Yet in the rush of production, tiny imperfections, what experts call mint errors, occasionally slipped through. These errors are not flaws in the eyes of collectors, they are signatures of rarity, fingerprints of history that cannot be duplicated. A doubled die, an off-center strike, or a misaligned mint mark can transform a common coin into a sought-after treasure. And here is the fascinating twist: many of these coins were never removed from circulation. They passed through grocery stores, gas stations, and piggy banks, silently waiting for the observant eye. Think about it, how many pennies have passed through your hands without a second glance? Now picture the excitement of a seasoned collector discovering a pristine 1964 D penny with a verified mint error. The room changes. Conversations pause. The energy rises. Auction rooms, whether physical or digital, come alive with competitive bids. This is where emotion meets economics. Collectors are not simply buying a coin, they are buying rarity, prestige, and the thrill of owning something almost no one else possesses. Stories circulate of extraordinary valuations, numbers that sound unbelievable at first, but in elite collector circles, rarity drives demand, and demand drives prices into astonishing territory. It is the same psychology that fuels art auctions and vintage car sales. The humor in all this? The same coin that once bought a piece of candy decades ago might now command a figure that buys a luxury vacation. Funny how inflation works, or perhaps it is not inflation at all, but attention finally catching up with value. But here is where the emotional tension rises. Every day, valuable coins are unknowingly spent, dropped into vending machines, or forgotten in drawers. Opportunity is often lost not because it never existed, but because it was never recognized. There is a quiet urgency in understanding what you own. Fear is not always negative, sometimes it is a signal telling you to look closer, to act wisely, to avoid letting a rare asset slip away unnoticed. At the same time, excitement fuels curiosity. The simple act of examining a coin under good lighting, checking for doubling in the lettering, or verifying the mint mark alignment can open the door to discovery. And discovery leads to empowerment. After all, how often does a hobby also carry the potential for financial elevation? As the story reaches its peak, the connection becomes clear, knowledge transforms ordinary people into informed sellers and confident negotiators. When you understand rarity, grading, and verification, you step into a different role. You are no longer guessing, you are positioning yourself strategically in a high-demand market. Professional grading services, auction platforms, and collector communities exist precisely because the stakes can be significant. The individuals who succeed are not always the luckiest, they are the ones who prepared, learned, and acted at the right moment. Ask yourself this slightly humorous but powerful question: if a penny could whisper its true value, would you be ready to listen, or would you spend it on a parking meter? In the final reflection, the 1964 Lincoln penny becomes more than a coin, it becomes a symbol of awareness and opportunity. The message is not merely about copper and mint marks, it is about recognizing hidden potential in everyday life. For those who wish to sell old and rare coins, the journey begins with attention, continues with education, and ends with decisive action. Markets reward rarity, and rarity rewards those who seek it. Somewhere, perhaps in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten box, a small circle of metal could represent a large financial shift. Imagine reaching into an old drawer, a dusty jar, or the forgotten pocket of a winter coat, and pulling out a simple copper penny that could quietly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not a gold bar, not a diamond ring, just a small, ordinary-looking 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Most people overlook it every single day, passing it from hand to hand without a second thought. But hidden among millions of common coins, there exists a rare error variation that has sent shockwaves through the collector world, with auction prices climbing into astonishing territory. The question is not if these coins exist, it's whether one has already passed through your hands without you realizing its true value. And here's the truth that makes collectors sit upright: the market for rare Lincoln pennies has never been stronger, and demand continues to surge as more investors search for tangible assets that hold historical and financial power. Think about it: when was the last time you actually looked closely at your spare change instead of tossing it into a jar? Now pause for a second, yes, really pause, and ask yourself, what if the coin you ignored yesterday could have paid off a mortgage, funded a dream vacation, or secured your retirement comfort? It sounds unbelievable, almost cinematic, yet the coin market has repeatedly proven that small details create massive differences in value. A 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is not automatically rare, but certain error characteristics and exceptional condition grades have driven record-breaking auction headlines. The excitement isn't just about money, it's about discovery, about holding a piece of American history that traveled through decades untouched, waiting for the right observer. And let's be honest, if pennies could talk, some of them would probably laugh at how casually we treat them. Here's where the story becomes urgent. Every day, valuable coins are accidentally spent, dropped into vending machines, or exchanged for their face value because owners never realized what they had. The fear isn't imaginary, it's happening constantly. Rare coins disappear back into circulation, and once they're gone, the opportunity vanishes with them. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny becomes powerful when combined with specific error traits, pristine preservation, and professional grading that elevates it from pocket change to collector treasure. Condition is king, and the difference between an average coin and a high-grade specimen can be the difference between a few cents and life-changing sums. Picture two identical pennies minted in the same year, one tossed into circulation, scratched and worn, the other preserved in near-perfect condition inside a drawer. Decades later, one remains ordinary while the other becomes extraordinary. That thin line between ordinary and extraordinary is what fuels the coin market's intensity. Collectors, investors, and auction houses are constantly searching, competing, and driving prices upward for coins that meet the highest standards. And while many people assume the opportunity is gone, the truth is that undiscovered pieces still surface from private collections, estate sales, and family inheritances. The market rewards those who act with knowledge and timing. It's not about luck alone, it's about awareness, and here's a quick reality check with a smile: most people can name their favorite movie from the 1980s, but can't remember the last time they checked the date on a penny. That tiny oversight is exactly where hidden value lives. The excitement grows when you realize that coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a blend of history, strategy, and financial foresight. When demand rises and supply tightens, prices respond. The coin market doesn't wait for hesitation, it moves with confidence and rewards those who pay attention. The powerful conclusion is this: opportunity favors the informed and the observant. The 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark represents more than a coin, it symbolizes the idea that wealth can hide in plain sight. For adults who understand the value of assets, legacy, and financial security, this isn't merely a collectible, it's a reminder that prosperity often begins with awareness and decisive action. By examining your coins, learning grading standards, and understanding error varieties, you position yourself among those who recognize value where others see none. The emotional reward isn't only the potential financial gain, it's the confidence of knowing you are no longer overlooking possibilities. The thrill of discovery, the urgency of timing, and the authority of knowledge combine into a powerful advantage. The coin market thrives on rarity and condition, and collectors actively seek coins that meet those elite criteria. When you hold a coin that fits those standards, you hold attention, demand, and historical significance in the palm of your hand. So the next time you encounter a simple penny, don't dismiss it. Look closer. Turn it under the light. Ask questions. Because sometimes the smallest objects carry the greatest potential, and the difference between routine and reward can be as thin as a mint mark, or the absence of one. Imagine reaching into a forgotten drawer, an old jar of loose change, or a dusty coin album passed down from a relative, and discovering a single penny that could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a dream vacation, even more than a year's salary. Today, we are diving into the astonishing story of the 1971 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a small copper coin that, in the right condition and with the right error, has stunned collectors by reaching values as high as $763,000. Yes, a single cent potentially transforming into life-changing money. Before you brush this off as fantasy, ask yourself a simple question: when was the last time you actually checked the pennies in your pocket? Most people never do, and that's exactly why opportunities like this quietly slip through their fingers every single day. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is power, and power attracts serious buyers with serious money. The 1971 Lincoln penny was minted during a period of massive production in the United States, which means millions were created, but here's where the twist begins. Within those millions, a microscopic fraction contains minting errors or exceptional preservation that turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary asset. The absence of a mint mark on a 1971 penny is not automatically rare, since Philadelphia coins often lacked mint marks at the time, but when that same coin appears with specific striking errors, double dies, off-center impressions, or pristine uncirculated grades, it becomes a magnet for collectors who are willing to compete fiercely at auctions. Think of it like real estate in a booming city. Most houses are average, but the one with the perfect location and flawless condition becomes priceless. And here's the humorous truth: some people spend hours scrolling social media looking for opportunities while a six-figure coin could literally be hiding in their sofa cushions. Now picture the emotional roller coaster of discovery. The moment you notice an unusual shine, a strange doubling in the lettering, or an off-center portrait on a penny you almost ignored, your heartbeat quickens. You search online. You compare images. The possibility grows larger by the minute. This is where excitement meets urgency. The coin market moves fast, and serious collectors are always hunting. A rare 1971 penny with the right characteristics doesn't sit unnoticed forever. Someone, somewhere, is always ready to buy, and often at astonishing prices, because rarity combined with demand creates explosive value. The fear here is not losing money, it's missing out entirely. Missing the coin, missing the moment, missing the chance to turn everyday change into extraordinary wealth. And let's be honest, we've all thrown pennies into jars without a second thought. What if one of them was worth more than your car? As we move deeper into this journey, understand that condition is king. A penny that looks freshly minted, with sharp details, original luster, and no visible wear, can skyrocket in value compared to the same coin that has been scratched or circulated for decades. Professional grading services exist solely to evaluate these tiny details, and a top-graded 1971 no-mint mark penny with a dramatic error can ignite bidding wars among collectors who view such coins not just as collectibles, but as investments, status symbols, and historical artifacts. This is where inspiration turns into strategy. You are no longer just a viewer, you are a potential discoverer. The difference between someone who finds value and someone who overlooks it is often just awareness. Knowledge sharpens your vision, and vision reveals opportunities others walk past blindly, and here's the powerful connection that ties everything together: coins are more than metal. They are time capsules. They pass through millions of hands, across generations, across economic eras, carrying silent stories of history and hidden potential. The 1971 Lincoln penny is a reminder that wealth does not always arrive loudly, sometimes it arrives disguised as something ordinary. The urgency is real because these coins are being found every year, authenticated every year, and sold every year. The question is never if valuable coins exist, the question is who finds them first. Imagine the confidence of walking into a coin dealer's office with a small copper coin and walking out with a check that changes your financial direction. That is not luck, that is preparation meeting opportunity. So the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't dismiss it. The next time you open a jar of coins, slow down. The next time you receive change at a store, look twice. Because hidden among the ordinary could be the extraordinary. A 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with the right error, the right grade, and the right buyer waiting. Opportunities rarely announce themselves with fireworks, they whisper. And those who listen, learn, and act are the ones who transform small moments into monumental rewards. Imagine this: you are cleaning out an old drawer, moving aside receipts, paper clips, and forgotten memories, when a single copper coin catches the light. It looks ordinary. It feels ordinary. But what if that tiny 1973 Lincoln penny in your hand is not ordinary at all? What if this small, overlooked piece of metal could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a dream vacation, even reaching values reported as high as $767,000 in today's collector market? Most people spend pennies without a second thought, yet collectors spend fortunes chasing the rare ones. The difference between a 1-cent coin and a life-changing asset is often just a microscopic detail that 99% of people never notice. And here is the shocking truth: thousands of rare coins slip through everyday transactions because their owners simply don't know what they're holding. Ask yourself, how many times have you received change and never looked twice? That moment of neglect could be the most expensive habit of your life. The 1973 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is one of those coins that quietly circulates, hiding in plain sight, waiting for the person who understands its true potential. It is not just currency, it is history, mystery, and opportunity combined into a single copper circle. Now let's step into the world of serious collectors, where magnifying glasses replace casual glances and a single minting anomaly can ignite bidding wars. The 1973 Lincoln penny, especially examples without a visible mint mark and with specific error characteristics, has captured intense attention because scarcity fuels desire. In numismatics, rarity is power. When a coin shows unusual striking errors, exceptional preservation, or unique production quirks, its value can surge from cents to thousands, and in extraordinary cases, into the hundreds of thousands. This is where excitement meets urgency. Because the market does not reward hesitation, it rewards awareness. Think about it: a coin produced more than 50 years ago has survived wars, economic shifts, and generations of hands, and yet a flawless or error-struck example can still command astonishing figures. The humor in all of this? People will argue over a dollar discount at a store, yet unknowingly spend a coin that collectors might fight over like treasure hunters chasing gold. It almost sounds unbelievable, but markets are driven by emotion as much as logic. Fear of missing out pushes prices higher. Pride of ownership fuels demand. And the collector community thrives on the thrill of discovery. When you hold an old coin, you are not just holding metal, you are holding the possibility that someone, somewhere, has been searching for exactly what you possess. The difference between a casual owner and a strategic seller is knowledge, timing, and presentation. So here is the empowering reality: you do not need to be born wealthy to discover valuable assets. Sometimes wealth hides in the most unexpected places, like jars, drawers, or inherited collections that no one has examined closely in decades. The 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny symbolizes something larger than its copper surface. It represents overlooked opportunity. The individuals who succeed in the rare coin market are not always experts at the beginning. They are observers. They are learners. They are people who decide to pay attention while others rush past details. And attention creates advantage. Imagine transforming an ordinary habit, simply checking your change, into a gateway for financial surprises. That is not fantasy, that is awareness meeting preparation. The market for rare coins continues to grow because history cannot be reproduced. Each surviving coin becomes more significant with time, not less. The key is recognizing demand before everyone else does, presenting your coin professionally, and approaching the process with confidence instead of doubt. There is no weakness in curiosity, there is strength in exploration. And while not every penny will be a fortune, every penny examined is a step closer to discovering one that could be. Imagine reaching into a dusty old jar of coins sitting quietly on your shelf, and discovering that one simple copper penny could be worth more than a luxury house. Not a gold bar. Not a rare diamond. A single 1975 Lincoln penny. Most people will spend it without a second thought. But a few observant collectors know that hidden among ordinary change are coins that can transform financial futures. Today, we are diving into one of the most talked about modern treasures in the coin world, the 1975 mint mark Lincoln penny with rare error variations that have shocked auction rooms and sparked bidding wars reaching astonishing figures. If you have ever wondered whether your pocket change could secretly hold life-changing value, this story is for you. Act 1 begins with curiosity, the moment you realize that everyday objects can carry extraordinary worth. In 1975, millions of Lincoln pennies rolled out of the Denver Mint, each designed to be ordinary, functional, and quickly forgotten. Yet history has proven that ordinary is sometimes just a disguise. Over decades, small minting imperfections, double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and misalignments, quietly turned a few of these pennies into elite collectibles. The fascinating part is that these coins do not announce themselves with flashing lights or neon signs. They hide in piggy banks, couch cushions, inherited collections, and sometimes even in the cup holder of a car. Think about it, how many pennies have passed through your hands without a second glance? What if one of them was worth more than your annual salary? That realization alone has driven thousands of collectors into a modern-day treasure hunt fueled by excitement and possibility. Act 2 is discovery, the electrifying moment when knowledge meets opportunity. The 1975 Lincoln penny becomes valuable not because of its age alone, but because of condition and mint errors that defy expectations. A pristine, high-grade coin with a rare error can ignite fierce competition among collectors who understand scarcity better than anyone. Auctions have witnessed dramatic scenes where bidders escalate prices in seconds, chasing the pride of ownership and the thrill of securing a coin few others possess. And here is the humorous twist: somewhere, someone once used a potentially valuable penny to buy a piece of chewing gum. Yes, a coin that could later command thousands might have funded a bubblegum bubble contest. That irony reminds us that awareness is everything. The difference between spending a coin and investing in it often comes down to one simple action: paying attention. The urgency is real because rare coins do not wait forever. They circulate, disappear, and sometimes vanish into private collections for decades. The window of opportunity rewards those who act with curiosity and informed confidence. Act 3 is transformation, the powerful realization that opportunity favors the prepared. For collectors and everyday individuals alike, the 1975 penny symbolizes more than metal, it represents the intersection of patience, knowledge, and timing. The coin market thrives on demand, and when a specific year and mint mark gain attention, values can surge as collectors compete to secure the finest examples. Imagine the emotional moment of holding a coin you once overlooked, now recognized as a sought-after collectible. That shift from casual observer to informed owner creates a sense of empowerment that goes beyond financial gain. It becomes a lifestyle change, a new perspective on value, discipline, and opportunity. The excitement is not merely about money, it is about discovering hidden potential in everyday life and realizing that wealth sometimes hides in plain sight. The journey encourages vigilance, curiosity, and the courage to explore possibilities others ignore, and as this story closes, the message echoes with clarity: extraordinary value often hides inside ordinary moments. The 1975 Lincoln penny reminds us that attention can turn small discoveries into significant achievements. The next time you receive change, pause for a second longer than usual. Look closely. Ask questions. Because somewhere in circulation, another overlooked coin is waiting for someone who refuses to underestimate the small things. Imagine holding a simple copper-colored penny between your fingers, a coin so ordinary that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought, yet hidden within its tiny surface could be the key to a life-changing discovery. What if the next penny you find isn't worth 1 cent, but hundreds of thousands of dollars? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1976 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that many overlook, but collectors quietly watch with intense interest. Because in the world of rare coins, the smallest detail can transform pocket change into a powerful asset. And the truth is, most people never even look closely enough to realize what they already own. That's the opportunity, and the danger. Opportunity, because knowledge gives you power. Danger, because ignorance could cost you a fortune. In the first act of our journey, picture the year 1976, America celebrating its bicentennial, pride in the air, history being written, and millions of pennies being struck at the Denver Mint with the small but mighty D mint mark. These coins traveled through countless hands, pockets, and cash registers. They bought newspapers, candy bars, and bus tickets. Yet among these millions, a tiny fraction emerged with unusual characteristics, subtle mint errors, striking anomalies, and microscopic details that today send collectors into bidding wars. It's almost poetic, a humble coin born in a historic year, quietly waiting decades for someone to finally recognize its uniqueness. Ask yourself this: how many pennies have passed through your hands without a second glance? Hundreds? Thousands? What if one of them was extraordinary and you never knew? Now we move into the second act, the moment of discovery, the emotional turning point. This is where excitement meets urgency. Certain 1976 D. Lincoln pennies with distinctive mint errors have drawn astonishing attention in collector circles. The fascination isn't just about age, it's about rarity, condition, and those tiny imperfections that make a coin stand out like a diamond in a sea of stones. Think about the thrill of examining a penny under bright light, noticing a doubled letter, an off-center strike, or an unusual shine. It's like a treasure hunt where the map is knowledge and the prize could reshape your financial story. And here's a humorous truth to reset your attention: most people will spend 20 minutes choosing a Netflix show but 0 seconds checking the coins in their pocket. Irony at its finest. Yet the collectors who do look closely are the ones quietly building wealth, one discovery at a time. The market buzz around rare error coins can be intense, with high-grade examples commanding dramatic figures when rarity and condition align. This isn't luck, it's awareness meeting preparation. As we enter the final act, the resolution becomes clear: empowerment through action. The 1976 D. Lincoln penny symbolizes more than currency, it represents hidden potential, patience, and the rewards of informed curiosity. For individuals between 30 and 65 who are exploring ways to sell old and rare coins, this journey is not just about money, it's about control over overlooked assets, about transforming clutter into capital, and about stepping into a lifestyle where knowledge works for you instead of against you. The demand for exceptional coins remains strong because collectors chase stories, history, and uniqueness, and coins like this carry all three. Imagine opening a small box of old change and feeling that surge of anticipation, that heartbeat of possibility. The key message is simple yet powerful: start looking, start learning, and start valuing what others ignore. Imagine holding a simple copper-colored penny between your fingers, a coin so ordinary that millions have passed through grocery stores, gas stations, and dusty drawers for decades, yet hidden among them could be a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a tiny detail that most people overlook, but collectors obsess over. Now picture this: what if that one small coin, sitting forgotten in a jar in your kitchen right now, could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? That possibility is not fantasy, it is the very reason serious collectors scan pennies every single day. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has become a symbol of opportunity, a reminder that wealth does not always arrive in gold bars or stock portfolios. Sometimes, it hides in plain sight disguised as pocket change. And the truth is both exciting and slightly frightening, because the longer people ignore these coins, the greater the chance someone else discovers the treasure first. The story of this penny begins in an era when America was moving fast, inflation was rising, and billions of coins were produced to keep commerce flowing. Among those billions, a small number emerged with unique striking characteristics and exceptional preservation, coins that today command jaw-dropping prices when authenticated and graded at the highest levels. The absence of a mint mark on a 1978 Lincoln penny is not itself an error, but when combined with pristine condition, rare die variations, or exceptional luster, it transforms the coin into a collector's dream. This is where emotion enters the market. Excitement drives bidders to raise paddles higher at auctions. Urgency pushes buyers to act before competitors step in. And fear reminds sellers that one careless transaction or unverified sale could mean losing a life-changing opportunity. Think about how many times you have handed over a penny without looking twice. What if one of those coins was extraordinary? It is almost humorous. We search for treasure in distant places while it jingles quietly in our own pockets. As the modern coin market grows more sophisticated, demand for high-grade Lincoln pennies has intensified dramatically. Wealthy collectors are not merely buying metal, they are purchasing history, rarity, and the thrill of ownership. When a 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny appears in near-perfect condition with strong eye appeal, auction rooms become electric. Prices can surge into astonishing territory because collectors compete not only for the coin but for status, legacy, and investment security. This is why verification is critical. Professional grading services, magnification tools, and careful storage can mean the difference between a casual sale and a premium auction result. The urgency here is real, markets evolve, collector interests shift, and opportunities reward those who act with knowledge and confidence. Yet there is also empowerment in this journey. Every viewer has the ability to learn, to inspect, to authenticate, and to step into a marketplace where informed decisions transform small discoveries into significant gains. By the end of this exploration, one truth becomes undeniable: the 1978 Lincoln penny without a mint mark represents more than currency, it represents awareness. It challenges us to look closer, to question assumptions, and to recognize that value often hides behind familiarity. The excitement is not just about a potential high price, it is about the realization that opportunity favors the observant. The urgency is not panic, it is motivation to educate yourself before the next auction passes by. And the inspiration lies in knowing that a simple coin, once overlooked, can become a powerful symbol of financial possibility. So the next time a penny crosses your path, pause for a moment. Examine it. Because in a world rushing forward at incredible speed, sometimes the smallest details carry the greatest rewards, and the difference between ordinary and extraordinary can be as subtle as the absence of a tiny mint mark. Imagine holding a single penny, a coin so small, so ordinary, that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought. Now imagine that same penny quietly being worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, 1 cent, transforming into a life-changing opportunity. What if the next time you check your loose change, you're not just counting coins, you're uncovering hidden wealth? The 1979 Lincoln penny without a mint mark has sparked intense curiosity among collectors, investors, and everyday Americans alike. And here's the shocking truth: while millions overlook it, a rare variation tied to condition and error potential has pushed auction prices into astonishing territory. The question is not whether these coins exist, the question is whether one is already sitting in your drawer right now. In the world of coin collecting, perception is everything. Most people believe valuable coins must be ancient, golden, or locked behind museum glass. But the 1979 Lincoln penny challenges that belief completely. It is modern, copper-colored, and still occasionally found in circulation. This psychological contrast is exactly what makes it powerful. When rarity meets everyday familiarity, opportunity explodes. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, scarcity, and the thrill of discovery. Think about it: a coin that once bought a piece of candy could now represent a down payment on a home. And the emotional tension builds here, because every year, more of these high-grade coins disappear into private collections, vaults, and long-term investments. Supply shrinks. Demand rises. The clock never stops ticking. Now let's step into the heart of the story, the moment where curiosity turns into determination. The 1979 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is often misunderstood. Many people see "no mint mark" and assume it must be an error, but the real value comes from exceptional preservation, rare strike quality, and specific error combinations that transform an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. The market rewards perfection and uniqueness. Coins graded in near-perfect condition, or those carrying distinct anomalies, can command staggering prices at auction. This is where excitement mixes with urgency. Because unlike stocks or digital assets, coins are physical, finite, and disappearing every day. The opportunity is not growing, it is narrowing, and here's a quick reality check with a smile. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before spending it? Exactly. Most of us don't. That simple habit is why hidden treasures remain hidden. The difference between someone who finds value and someone who misses it often comes down to awareness. Coin collecting is not luck, it's attention. The collectors who succeed are not magicians, they are observers. They slow down while others rush. They inspect while others ignore. And that tiny shift in behavior can produce extraordinary financial outcomes. As we move deeper, the emotional energy shifts from curiosity to empowerment. Imagine the feeling of discovering that a small coin in your possession holds significant worth. Imagine telling your family that something overlooked for years is now a financial asset. This is not fantasy, it is the very reason auctions generate headlines and collectors remain passionate decade after decade. Coins are time capsules, and the 1979 Lincoln penny represents a moment in American minting history that continues to captivate experts. High-demand coins are not just purchased, they are pursued. Buyers compete. Prices escalate. And the individuals who recognized value early stand at the center of opportunity. Then comes the turning point, the realization that wealth is not always earned through massive investments, sometimes it is uncovered through knowledge. The fear here is subtle but powerful. What if you already had a valuable coin and unknowingly spent it? That possibility alone is enough to inspire action. Yet instead of fear becoming paralyzing, it becomes motivating. It encourages inspection, learning, and strategic selling. The market rewards those who prepare. Professional grading services, authentication, and proper storage elevate a coin's perceived and actual value. When preparation meets opportunity, results follow, and just for a moment, consider this humorous thought: somewhere, someone used a potentially valuable penny to buy a gumball. Let that sink in. While it's amusing, it also highlights a critical truth: awareness changes outcomes. The collectors who build wealth are not necessarily richer at the start, they are simply more informed and more intentional. They recognize that value hides in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to notice it. As we approach the final act, the energy transforms into confidence and forward momentum. The 1979 Lincoln penny without a mint mark symbolizes more than a coin, it represents the mindset of opportunity. A lifestyle of financial awareness, strategic selling, and intelligent collecting can reshape the way you view everyday objects. High-demand coins continue to attract attention because they merge nostalgia with investment potential. Auctions become arenas of excitement where history meets modern ambition. The individuals who succeed are those who act decisively, authenticate their finds, and present them professionally to the marketplace. In the end, the message is clear and empowering. Opportunity rarely announces itself with fireworks, sometimes it whispers from the bottom of a coin jar. The next time you encounter a simple penny, pause. Look closely. Feel its weight. Because within that small circle of copper could lie a powerful reminder: wealth is not always about chasing the next big thing, sometimes it's about recognizing the value of what is already in your hands. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer, coins you've ignored for years, and discovering that one small copper penny could be worth more than a luxury sports car. It sounds unbelievable, almost like a late-night television fantasy, yet for collectors and sharp-eyed individuals across the United States, this exact moment has transformed ordinary lives. Today, we're talking about the 1979 D. Lincoln penny, a coin so common at first glance that most people would pass it by without a second thought, yet certain rare era versions have ignited intense bidding wars and captured the attention of elite collectors willing to pay extraordinary sums. The truth is, hidden value often disguises itself as something ordinary, and that is exactly why opportunity favors those who look twice. While millions of pennies were produced in 1979, only a microscopic fraction carry the precise characteristics that make them irresistible to serious buyers. And here's the question that might keep you awake tonight: what if one of those rare pieces is already in your possession, quietly waiting to change your financial future? The Lincoln penny is not just spare change, it is a miniature historical artifact, a piece of American heritage struck in metal. The 1979 D Mint mark signifies it was produced at the Denver Mint, a facility known for precision and massive production numbers. Yet even in systems designed for perfection, small anomalies slip through, and in the world of numismatics, those anomalies are pure gold. Certain error variations, subtle doubling, off-center strikes, or unique minting irregularities, can transform a 1-cent coin into a collector's trophy. Think about it for a moment. A single mistake during production decades ago can echo forward in time and create life-changing value today. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The world chases perfection, yet imperfection is what becomes priceless. Now imagine the excitement of a seasoned collector scanning through auction listings late at night, heart racing, searching for that one extraordinary specimen. The competition is fierce, the bids climb rapidly, and suddenly a penny, yes, a penny, commands attention normally reserved for fine art or rare diamonds. Humorously enough, it's the only time in life when losing a penny under the couch might actually be considered a financial tragedy. But behind the light humor lies a powerful truth: demand for rare coins continues to surge because tangible assets with historical significance carry emotional and financial weight. Collectors are not merely buying metal, they are buying stories, rarity, and prestige. And when scarcity meets desire, prices can escalate beyond imagination. This is where urgency enters the picture, not as fear, but as awareness. Every day, countless valuable coins circulate unnoticed, spent on coffee, dropped into tip jars, or forgotten in storage boxes. The difference between an overlooked penny and a high-value collectible is knowledge and action. The market for rare coins thrives on discovery, and those who educate themselves gain a powerful advantage. Picture the confidence of recognizing a rare feature instantly, the calm assurance of knowing you hold something special while others see only spare change. That sense of empowerment is what transforms casual curiosity into financial opportunity. There is also an emotional element, the thrill of the hunt, the pride of ownership, the satisfaction of turning overlooked items into meaningful assets. For many individuals between 30 and 65, coins are more than collectibles, they are bridges to memories, family histories, and the possibility of a more comfortable lifestyle. The journey from ordinary to extraordinary often begins with a simple decision to pay attention. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly examined the coins passing through your hands? Not glanced at them, truly examined them. Because sometimes wealth does not arrive with noise or flashing lights. Sometimes it arrives quietly, disguised as a penny dated 1979 with a tiny D mint mark, waiting for the one person perceptive enough to recognize its significance.